Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. For the first time in a while, I'm actually going to be doing prediction videos here for WrestleMania. Now, to give you some context, this video is being recorded on the 23rd of March because I am going to WrestleMania this year. And so if there's anything I'm missing, any matches left out, I'm sorry, but we've got a very, very rough card. What's something that could happen? CM Punk is scheduled on Raw in a couple of days. So he could very well be a special ref or hosting WrestleMania or clearly set up something else here. And Jade Cargill is making her first SmackDown appearance next week on SmackDown. So there's a couple things there that could have been, could be added. So apologies there. I just wanted to film the videos well in advance. I decided against filming them in Philadelphia because I feel like I'd get them out too late then. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Just to add one more thing, I leave in like 3 days. So I wanted to get these videos ready to go. Alright, so we're going to go from the bottom. We're not going to do it night 1, night 2. We're going to go from the very bottom all the way up to the top on WWE.com's official page. So there's a snapshot on the screen probably right now. First of all, LA Knight versus AJ Styles. After the segment on SmackDown earlier today, or yesterday, as of the time recording this video, I do think that I feel a little more better about the match. I think a lot of us were disappointed at first. At the end of the day, LA Knight's on a WrestleMania match. And maybe this is one of those last things he needs to show that he can perform at the big stage for WWE and Triple H and maybe even TKO to finally commit to the megastar. He should be fighting for that US title. I have seen thrown around while he was fighting for the world title months ago why he shouldn't be fighting for the US title. LA Knight versus Logan Paul was literally on a platter for them. They planted the seeds before Money in the Bank last year. So it is a shame that we're not getting that match, but it's okay. LA Knight versus AJ Styles has the potential to be something great. I have a feeling this is potential to be a match of its night. Or match of WrestleMania, because I know a lot of people are down on this match and are saying, hey, we didn't want to see this. LA Knight and AJ Styles should really be talking to each other right now to give us like a we'll show them moment. So just like the men's showcase tag match last year, no one expected much of that and it was awesome. So obviously I'm going to predict LA Knight. I think this one's pretty predictable, or it should be predictable. Man, if he doesn't win at WrestleMania, oh man. He can win at Backlash in France. But of course I'm going to go for LA Knight, and I do see this being an absolute banger. AJ is still capable of doing these great matches, and LA Knight is obviously a solid in-ring worker, but of course we're going for LA Knight for the win here. Next we have the Undisputed Tag Team Title 6-pack ladder match. This is going to be the hardest one to predict, I think, because there are so many moving pieces to this match. As of the recording of this video, there are 4 more teams that can qualify, 2 more teams to be added. We have the Street Profits versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Whoever wins that are added. The New Catch Republic versus Legado del Fantasma. Now, being Australian, I promise I'm not being biased, but I think that spot is really deserving of Waller and Theory, and I'll tell you why. Those guys have been on the show nearly every week, delivering quality stuff for the last year, and you know, how are you going to have Waller have this big segment in Australia, didn't even get a match in his home country, okay, at the Chamber, and then leave him off the WrestleMania card? I think Waller as well in a ladder match just sounds awesome to me. He can do some crazy stuff. At the same time, same with the Profits. I'm going to go with Waller and Theory just solely based on the hard work they've been doing for the last year. And, you know, Theory, another guy. If he goes from beating John Cena one year and the next year off the card, it's a bit disappointing. Profits, I think they'll end up in some sort of faction war match with what are they called? The Final Testament versus Bobby Lashley's stable. I forgot what they were called. Yeah, that's not announced yet, but that's my theory. The rest of the New Catch Republic are obviously getting added to the match. I don't see Legado del Fantasma entering the match at all. The other teams are obviously the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, DIY, The New Day, and Miz and R-Truth. Everyone online, including myself, thinks this is where you split the tag team titles. It makes too much sense. I feel like Triple H has been waiting on this for a reason, and this is that reason. Let's do a mental, absolutely insane tag team championship ladder match, and this is where we split the titles and do the right thing. So, when I say split the titles, there's going to be 4 belts hanging above the ring. One team will grab the blue set, one team will grab the red set. And back again, we will have Raw and SmackDown tag team champions, respectively. Judgment Day are not walking out with any of the belts here. I'm sorry, but they're not. Miz and R-Truth will win the Raw tag team titles. And if I had to make a good guess, I'm going to say Waller and Theory will grab the SmackDown tag titles. It's something I think that they both deserve. It sounds so biased, I know, but it's honestly how I see things panning out as of the 23rd of March. There is also the potential here of the Dudleys coming back, which would be, it would be insane. And there's rumours of the Hardys, but I don't think Jeff is ready to go. Matt Hardy's, I think his AEW contract is up, but Jeff Hardy, because he had some time away, he's still under contract. It's not going to happen, but it would be pretty cool. But of course, yes, Miz and Truth for the Raw tag titles, and who did I say? Waller and Theory for the SmackDown tag team titles. Next, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. I'm going to go for something a little bit, I think, out of nowhere here. I don't think anyone would. I don't think anyone's thought of this yet. Jey Uso seems like the safe choice here to win the match. Jimmy Uso would also seem like a good choice if they are going to do everything right with the other bloodline stuff happening on the card. But to me, it's brother versus brother. It's twin versus twin. It would be unfortunate for me if I was Jimmy Uso. I'm not Jimmy Uso, but if I was Jimmy Uso, a lot of people have said Jay's better than him, especially over the last year or so that Jay's had the opportunity to work on his own. And for that to happen, for putting over Jey Uso as well, I don't think he needs it. I don't think Jimmy Uso needs to win either. I'm calling for not a double count out, because there's a boring, a double count down. Both of them knock each other out in the middle of the ring. The referee counts to 10, and at the end they can hug and everyone can be happy. I think it's going to be a draw, and I think that would be a cool way to end this match. I don't think we need a winner here. We just need the match. And if Jimmy Uso does stay in the bloodline after that, you can do a rematch down the line. But I just think at WrestleMania, I want to see a draw in this match. The Intercontinental title match, Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Oh boy. Gunther. Sami is awesome. And I loved that his bloodline story and overcoming the bloodline at last year's WrestleMania. To me, this match would have been cooler at next year's WrestleMania if Sami Zayn was going after Gunther as World Heavyweight Champion. In my honest opinion, it should have been Gable. It really should have been. The story was there. Sami Zayn, his story at the moment is won the gauntlet match from the start. I'm going to face Gunther now. I don't know if they're going to add Chad Gable. He's clearly involved in the mix still. I don't know if there's a heel turn coming for Chad Gable, who, if Sami Zayn does win at WrestleMania, Chad Gable turns heel because of everything going on. I don't know if Gable's going to be involved or not. But my honest prediction is Gunther. I think he can quite happily win the World Heavyweight title at Bash in Berlin, which is where I think it's going to happen. He can quite comfortably win it there and then relinquish the Intercontinental title. Oh, but how can you have Gunther go on the longest Intercontinental title reign of all time and not lose the belt? Because when someone does beat him, they are world champion then. That's why you do that. That way as well, his World Heavyweight title reign doesn't need to be any longer from August till WrestleMania. Instead of having him get beat here and then beat again down the line in quickly versus having one big reign not getting beat and then 2 quick defeats, I think Gunther wins here and picks up the World Heavyweight title whilst he's Intercontinental Champion, relinquishes that title for the sacred of the ring, and what does he say? Something like that. Next, we've got Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens for the United States title match. Look, I don't know what's going to happen in this match. I think there are some missing pieces here, as in there will be some crazy stuff that happens in the match, probably. I think we can all comfortably agree that Logan Paul is retaining. And this is probably one of the reasons why LA Knight isn't involved in this match, because Logan Paul now is going to be appearing a lot more over the next who knows how long. And having that belt on him is probably really good for business. If Logan Paul wasn't going to be appearing more, then it will probably be time to take the belt off him. But yeah, Logan Paul's going to retain. If he doesn't, that's going to be disappointing for LA Knight, I think, in my opinion, as an LA Knight fan. Just because, again, why not have LA Knight win the thing? But yeah, Logan Paul retains. Maybe loses it in Cleveland, or maybe carries it just a little bit longer. I don't know. But Logan Paul, this one's pretty simple. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Oh, wait till you hear my biased opinion on this one. I think Ripley needs to win this. Do I think she will? I think Ripley walks out of this year's WrestleMania as Women's World Champion. I predict that, but I'm not going to be shocked if it Backlash or Money in the Bank or somewhere down the line Becky Lynch picks up the win. Similar to Bianca Belair and Asuka last year. Ripley does need this win because she hasn't really had anything major happen since that incredible match with Charlotte Flair at last year's WrestleMania. I'm going to predict Ripley. I'm not sure, but I'm going to predict Ripley. She needs the win, man. She really does. I'm going to be meeting Becky Lynch as well at a book signing in Philadelphia a few days before WrestleMania. But, yeah, it's one of the tougher ones, I think. It's one of the ones that it's harder to predict. But I'm going to go with Ripley. It makes just a bit more sense because I think she needs to prove that she can beat the best of the best. I don't like the underdog story they're telling for Becky Lynch either. But I'm going to go with Ripley. Probably going to lose it soon after to Becky, though. Women's title, WWE Women's title match, that's what it's called. Io Sky versus Bayley. It's got to be Bayley, right? I don't know if she's going to come out with some new theme. Or go back to the original theme. Bring back the Bayley buddies. I don't know. But it's a shame that on SmackDown this story is being really overshadowed by everything else going on. But I'm gonna go with Bayley. Alright, so we're gonna deviate the order just a little bit here because of the order of events that's gonna happen. So, we're on our last three matches. We are gonna start with the big tag team match, the main event of night one of WrestleMania. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson versus Roman Reigns. Ooh, imagine. You guys wanted that, right? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth frickin' Rollins. Ooh, man. I don't think this one is that hard. Again, there probably are missing pieces to the puzzle here. There will be things that happen that we didn't see coming in this match and the matches to follow. But I think it's very common sense here that Cody Rhodes is taking the pin at night one of WrestleMania. Now, you can say that makes the next night all too predictable, but to me, he's the only guy that can afford to take a pinfall loss here in this match. I still keep saying on Twitter every day, real question, who's taking the pin in this? It's so obvious. Now, things can change, but as of right now, the way how everything looks, and way how everything is, he's the only guy that can take that pinfall loss. Seth can't. He's defending the world title the next night, and is going to lose it. He is going to lose it. So he can't take the pin. Roman, again, whether he is or isn't losing doesn't matter. He's defending the world title the next night, and it's Roman Reigns. We can't just be throwing around pinfall losses like that randomly. And The Rock can't and won't take the pinfall. First match back since 2013 or something like that, right? 2013, technically 2016 if you want to count WrestleMania 32, but I don't count WrestleMania 32. So first match in 11 years, he's not taking a pinfall loss to Seth or Cody Rhodes in his first match back. Not going to happen. The only scenario I see here playing out a little differently than what we think is The Rock turns on Roman Reigns in this match, and Cody goes on to pin Reigns the first night, which I don't think that's going to happen. But, yep, Cody Rhodes will take the pinfall. The Rock will pin Cody Rhodes at night one of WrestleMania, meaning the next night is Bloodline Rules. I think following that, we're going to see a really big beatdown of some sorts on both men, and we will probably get like a Stone Cold or a John Cena or a Undertaker would be crazy, I know. Someone like that, or Jey Uso, and not all of the Cody Avengers will come out at night one to sort of fend it off and, all right, this is it. We're ready for tomorrow now. It's Bloodline rules. Just to sort of really sprinkle a little more salt on top, a little more seasoning on top of both these men now are broken ribs, bruised everywhere, whatever it is, heading into the next night. So, the next match out of our final few matches here, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight title. I think there's no shenanigans here. Rollins is going to be incredibly beat up from the first night. Didn't take the pinfall loss though, so that's good. He will lose that match against Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre will finally get that moment as World Heavyweight Champion. I think Drew McIntyre wins clean. When I say clean, I mean he's not going to cheat or do anything silly to win. It's just going to be a tiny, you have to put it under a microscope, but it's going to be a tiny asterisk because of what Seth Rollins had to do the night before. Next, the undisputed WWE Universal title match, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. This is it. This is for all the marbles. It's Bloodline rules, and this is going to be like the most overbooked match in WWE history. In my opinion, in my honest opinion, this is like the biggest rematch in WWE history, okay? And straight up, I have Cody Rhodes winning this match. Now, there is going to be a lot that happens. The Rock may turn on Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes may turn on Roman Reigns, sorry. Cody Rhodes may kick out of the Samoan Spike Spear combination at 1, which would be insane. He might just kick out of it in general, which is something he failed to do the year before. We will get the Cody Avengers, all of them, every single one of them. Cena, Austin, Punk might help, Undertaker. But yeah, there's going to be a lot that happens in this match. All I want to add to cap off the video here, if you're a fan of Roman Reigns, it's okay. Alright? It's okay to be a fan of Roman Reigns. It's okay to have your preferences. There is a common sense here, though. There is a common direction of how things should go. And all I want to say is, sucked in. No, all I want to say is, please stop being toxic on Twitter, okay? I don't want to see any more Roman Reigns fan accounts. I don't want to see any more, no, this is what's happening. Seth Rollins will turn on Cody Rhodes. It doesn't make any sense, okay? You can internally think that, okay? You can, like Roman Reigns, okay? You could have wanted Rock versus Roman Reigns. But there is common sense to all of this. And it is Cody Rhodes winning the main event of WrestleMania. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm really pumped if you can't tell. Stay tuned on my channel. I'm going to be having probably some videos live from Philadelphia when I'm there for WrestleMania. And no hard feelings to Roman fans. I'm just having a bit of a joke. But yeah, please stop making these weird accounts on Twitter. It is kind of weird.